My name is Belen Carrillo, and I'm a third-year graduate student in the Cognitive Neuroscience program here in the Psych department at UC Berkeley. And right now we're in our eye tracking lab in Tolman Hall. So I grew up in Ecuador, in Quito, Ecuador. I was there all my life until I was 17. And then I moved to New York, and I took a cognitive neuroscience class as an undergrad. And I was just so fascinated by everything that our brain does. Anything between vision to thinking very abstractly about reasoning. And I approached the professor that was teaching the class, and I asked if I could work in her lab. So I was a research assistant there. We looked at how different aspects of motivation can impact the way you learn. And that really resonated with me because I've always been very interested in education. It was just really interesting to me that you can take a problem from the real world and study it in a scientific way. So I think that's the point that really turned me into thinking like, okay, like these are regular people that are really just making observations and coming up with a way to understand that problem. I study how our experiences can shape the way we think and also our brain. And by experiences, I mean things like practicing reasoning problems or playing games that make you engage those skills. And right now I'm working with young adults who are studying for taking the LSAT exam, which is the exam that people need to take to get into law school. And it's very reasoning heavy, and this work was inspired by a line of research that was going on at my lab. And I basically look at how continuing experience and practice with these problems can like really shape the way that you approach new reasoning problems and can really improve your reasoning skills. And something that I think would be really interesting to see is like, what does this mean in terms of like real world? Like, is this also helping you with perform better academically? Are you better at problem solving? And also in terms of engaging these brain networks, it's really important to understand that any type of experience that does matter. And if you're engaging those networks and like really working them out, there's actually changes that can be brought into those networks. So that has some implications for people who might have brain damage or specific learning difficulties that I think that's still a little far away from where we are right now, but that's definitely ultimately a place where this work will be of great impact. I think sometimes it's easy to forget that it's okay to make mistakes and that not everybody knows everything. And I think it's easy to feel like you're not learning quickly enough, or you're supposed to already be an expert at something, like a specific technique. So I think that's something that I constantly need to remind myself, that it's okay to mess up. And I think that's how I overcome that. And luckily I've become, like, I'm interested in what I do, so even if I feel like I've messed up, I still manage to entertain myself with the new thing that I need to learn. So.